Ken Pozek, are you with us?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Ken, for taking the time to talk with us all today. You probably know a lot of these people already, and so don't hold that against them. I know Josh Anderson's here, and that
Gotcha.
guy can't stop himself from talking. So good luck dealing with him. But if you don't know Ken, he is a mega agent out of Orlando. His YouTube channel is something that every single one of you should subscribe to and watch. It's amazing. And what he's going to be talking with you all today about is strategies for content marketing. So Ken's going to dump some knowledge on you all here today. It'll still fit into the time frame that we typically follow of 15 to 20 minutes. But thank you, Ken. Go ahead and take it away and blow their minds.
No pressure, for sure. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. So today, we're just going to talk a little bit about just 30 seconds of our journey. So 2016, I moved to Orlando, and I kind of restarted over, not knowing anybody. But we did the old school stuff, the open houses, the door knocking, agent referrals, all that stuff that a lot of you guys are probably already implementing and doing. But in 2018, I found YouTube. And over the past 5 years, we've created a business. This year, we'll probably do somewhere around $250 million in volume. Of that, we expect over $100 million to come directly from YouTube. And the rest of it is the content marketing machine that we've created that is really just making everything else easier or unnecessary. We don't pay for Zillow leads. We don't pay for Realtor.com leads. Really, it's just kind of everything that we do is content creation. And so YouTube, Instagram, and our email newsletter that goes out to almost 30,000 people twice every single week. And so Jordan told me originally, as we were kind of coming in here, don't expect people to unmute themselves and ask questions, but I'm going to have you guys start thinking about this. Josh, I know you always have questions because you're so handsome and smart, but I want you guys to kind of go through and start asking questions or thinking about maybe if you've tried content marketing, what's working and not working, because honestly, I think that is way better than just hearing me talk for 15 to 20 minutes straight. So any questions this morning so far? What have you tried with content marketing? What have you tried with YouTube and or Instagram and hasn't worked? I am kind of curious. If not, I'll continue to riff. All right, so here's what we do. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of insight. So here's what our content marketing strategy looks like. And now this isn't something that you guys need to implement immediately today, all of this at once, but kind of give you an overview. Because what we like to say is that we're actually a media marketing team that happens to sell real estate. So this morning we launched our podcast at 9 o'clock in the morning. That goes out to a few thousand people. And so that's on Mondays. On Tuesdays, I put a YouTube video out, and it's usually a few different things. It's I've got 3 buckets that we play from. It's usually coming soon to Orlando, it's moving to Orlando, or some sort of like luxury listing. Those are like our 3 buckets. And so I think a lot of people start YouTube and they're all over the place. They're like, I'm going to put my coaching stuff on here, my agent referral stuff on here, and maybe a little bit about my town. And unfortunately, you definitely confuse the viewer. You don't have any traction with YouTube because YouTube doesn't know where to put you. And so having a dedicated YouTube channel for us has been massively helpful. We get hundreds of leads every single month directly from YouTube. And that's what we put out the content that actually matters for our ideal clients. And so for us, it's coming soon to Orlando. I talk about the news from a real estate agent's perspective. It's like the easiest thing that any one of you guys could do and implement this week. Talking about 3 or 4 news articles. You know, Josh is in Nashville. We got Jenny in here from Tulsa. I'm sure there's like a Tulsa Business Observer that you can log in and see like, hey, there's a new conference center coming. There's a new something coming to the area. What does that mean for homeowners from a real estate agent's perspective? And so that's something we do, the content bucket coming soon to Orlando. The second thing is moving to Orlando. So I talk about tips about moving here, 5 reasons why you want to, 2 maybe why you don't, the new neighborhoods, the different things that are coming here. If you're moving here, this is a content for you. And then the last thing is like a luxury listing or kind of like ideal sort of piece. So those are like the 3 buckets that we play with. And that's a Tuesday video that we put out every single week and we never miss. Wednesday, I've got another one of our agents. They've have their own podcast. It's called The Balance. That gets launched and it talks about moms and busy moms and what that looks like in working in real estate and business and also being a busy mom. That actually is doing really, really well. So we're trying to create sub brands underneath what we do. On Thursdays, I sit down here in the studio and I shoot 5 to 6 pieces of short form content to go on my Instagram, Then I meet with my videographer to shoot my video that goes out on Tuesday. And then on Thursday nights from 7 to 8 o'clock at night, I go live on YouTube, and I have hundreds of people show up live to like listen to me talk about real estate and Orlando news. It's kind of a wild thing. And they can chime in and ask questions and that sort of thing. And then Thursdays and Saturdays, we put out our email newsletter. On top of all that, we're putting out 14 pieces of short form content on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. And so it's essentially 20-ish pieces of content every single week. And so through that, we're driving hundreds and hundreds of leads back to our website. And they're converting at a really high level, and also making agent referrals easier, sphere referrals easier, and just kind of everything. Our referral machine from like getting talent on our team, both on the operation side and on the agent side, has become really easy. I could go to 100 agents in 2 months if I wanted to, if we had the lead flow to keep up with them. That's how much people are reaching out. So it's become really, really good. And this content machine definitely works. So now that I've riffed for 5 minutes or so, what questions do you have about that?
I'll ask a question, Ken.
Yeah.
So you started with YouTube.
Yep.
Correct? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. How much of this is in-house versus not in-house? Who do you have doing what? I'm just curious what all that looks like. And are you part of all those conversations? I don't know. Tell me what that looks like, the back end.
Yeah, really good question. So when I first started off, it was me and my cell phone, editing everything myself, uploading once a week. And that was it. That's where I started, just the baseline. And then I eventually hired an editor from Upwork, and I was paying that person $80 a video to just edit my YouTube video, put the lower thirds, chop up make it look a little bit nicer. And then eventually we've now got a contractor locally. So I should have hired the guy 2 years ago to come on full time. Now I can't afford him because now he's working for like interior designers and architects and all that kind of things. But the guy that does my like polished YouTube videos, he's still a contractor. I pay him. He and I agree that he's going to do at least 50 videos for me a year, and I pay him X amount of dollars to guarantee that. So he knows he's got consistent income coming in, and he's not allowed to work with any other realtors locally. That's kind of our agreement that we've worked out on. Now, my podcast editor, our shorts editor, our newsletter person, our writers, and all that kind of stuff, that's all now in-house. So our marketing team is like a three-headed monster, if you will. We've got an editor that does the editing on podcasts, editing on short form, all that kind of stuff. We've got a marketing manager who makes sure all of this stuff goes out. He also is driving sort of like traffic back to the website. He's making sure the emails get out twice a week to our database, and then once every other week to our agent database. He's just making sure it all happens. And then he has kind of an assistant to help him with the collaterals on all of this, making sure that the blogs get posted to the website, make sure that any agent facing stuff on listings get taken care of. And so that's kind of what our whole marketing team looks like. Now we meet once a week. We like Matt just out here at 10 o'clock. It's just 30 minutes. Let's talk about metrics. How many leads came in? How many views? How are we looking in terms of traffic overall? What videos performed better than others? Where do we need to kind of improve? And so it's just kind of a 30-minute metric meeting. And that's kind of what our weekly touches look like.
And so is that 3 full-time people?
Yeah, three full-time people.
Okay, last question. If someone isn't as good looking as you, does YouTube still work?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Right,
A friend of mine, hopefully he doesn't mind me saying it, was Chris Colgan. If you look him up, he's in Virginia. He's definitely charismatic, but he's not a GQ model, and he's crushing it on YouTube right now. And the other thing is, like, you don't need 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's the other thing. Like, you can start getting leads with like 200 subscribers. People will reach out to you, and those are going to be some of the most loyal, amazing leads that you'll ever get. Many of these people are like better than an agent referral, better than like a referral from your mom, because they're so bought into who you are. By the time they call, it's pretty amazing.
Thanks.
Yep. All right. Questions over on the side. Brittany asks, 2 times. Yeah. So we do 2 times a week in our newsletter. Now, I know a lot of people are nervous to even send it out once a week. You know, they think, 52 email newsletters, that's way too much. But for us, we're over communicating with our people, and we have people that are writing blogs for us that are actually really good. Like, to me, they're the same level quality as the Orlando Business Journal or the Orlando Sentinel. And those people those 2 news organizations send out 2 emails a day. And so hell, why not 2 a week for us? And it's going really, really well. Tony asks what my content team looks like. Meg says, aside from just do it, what's the best way to get started? So I think, figuring out who your ideal client is and figuring out who that content person is going to be for. Like, we create content for a very specific person. For us, we do the majority of leads we get are relocation to the area, and that's very targeted. Like, we want to be their resource to learn information. And if they're moving here now, if you don't have a big relocation kind of vibe in your town, then you're going to have to look at, okay, I want to create content for locals. And that's why I think the whole coming soon to Tulsa, coming soon to Nashville, that kind of stuff would crush. And honestly, the people that watch those videos are, for us, mostly locals in Orlando. They care about what's coming to the town, and so that they can be proud about it. And so I think that would be figuring out who your ideal client is and then shooting content for them would be the ideal. What platform do I see the best return? Kate asks. YouTube by far. Brittany asks, how do I build a database to 30,000? So we created a website called the Orlando Reel. And when people go there, there's a sign up for a newsletter, and we just push everybody back there. Every lead that comes through, we force them through our newsletter. And so they're signing up. And so every lead that comes through, there's an automatic, like, do you want to get our newsletter? Click, that's automatically assigned to them. From there, it's just asking people on YouTube, hey, by the way, if you got any value here and you're looking to buy or sell a house, or you just want to stay up to date, hit the subscribe button or go to this website and sign up for our newsletter. That's kind of been the way that we've slowly built that over the past 3 or 4 years. What's my personal time split between Content Machine and what we consider typical real estate activities? So Austin, as of right now, my main goal is I run the team. I handle a very small subset of clients. My goal is to only sell like 1 or 2 homes a month. And then the rest of it's all content, focusing on content, building relationships, trying to grow the machine. So that's where I'm at today. But it took me 3 or 4 years to get there. I think for you, it's like figuring out what is your ideal job title and job role. Some of you don't want to do any of this content stuff and you want somebody else on your team to do it. That's totally fine. As long as someone's doing it and you're leaning in on it, that's fine. But for me, my ideal job description is content creation. Craig asks, should content video be different on each platform or just share it to all platforms? Yeah, Craig, you want to post it for the platform. So like TikTok, you really probably want to have something 20 seconds or less. Instagram's a little bit more forgiving. If it's educational, you can go 30, 45 seconds, no problem. On YouTube, that's a completely different kind of video. It should be educational, quick hitting, but probably 5 to 8 minutes long is a good target for most agents to start with. Anything else? We got like 1 more minute and then you guys are going to go in your breakout sessions, I guess. But little short plug. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, please follow me over there. We're putting out content, and really you can just R&D. I don't put a lot of like agent facing stuff. That's one thing I would say I would caution you guys on. Many agents are putting content out for other agents. And for me, like you won't see that on my page. I don't want other agents to just follow me and then we're constantly going back and forth, just giving each other tips. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. To me, I want to put out content that's going to be great for my ideal buyer. But if you want to follow me over on Instagram and kind of just steal my stuff, it's at Ken Pozek. Meg, great questions. She says, what resources do I recommend to get started? I would say I would follow Daryl Eves, Eves, over on YouTube. He's not a real estate agent. He's just a YouTube guru that I follow and I've hired as a coach, and he's completely changed my outlook. He's kind of like the guy behind a lot of what Mr. Beast does, and as well as like 20 other content creators doing like over 1 million subscribers on their YouTube channels. It's pretty amazing. All right. 16 minutes is up. You guys are supposed to go into your groups. If you have any questions on this stuff, I'm passionate about it. I do love it. Feel free to DM me over on Instagram. Hope you guys have an amazing week.
Thank you.